The United States is not in a recession, and it might seem like a small distinction to make, but I think it's important that we're clear about that. I'm a six-figure financial advisor, not your financial advisor. Yet. And part of my job is to study and stay familiar with our current and historical economic environments. Lately, I've noticed the word recession being thrown around to describe our discomfort with this late stage of capitalism. But the last actual recession that we had was in 2020, and before that, 2007. A recession is typically defined as 6 months of consistent economic downturn, meaning 6 months of negative GDP growth. Another indicator can be a sharp and sustained drop in the stock market. However, let me be clear, the stock market doesn't reflect the real economy that you and I live in. The market can hit all-time highs while we're out here dealing with slow wage growth, layoffs, expensive healthcare, and financial insecurity. If you remember in 2007, the financial crisis was a real recession. The stock market dropped nearly 10% in one day. Banks were collapsing. Unemployment hit over 10%, and people were losing homes overnight. Some of us even remember our favorite teachers getting pink slips because school funding was slashed. That's an economic downturn. That's a recession. Right now, what we're dealing with is a high interest rates, slower wage growth, a high cost of living, but the economy, believe it or not, is still expanding. People are still spending, albeit using credit. Businesses are still hiring despite the corporate layoffs, and GDP is still positive for now. Speculating an upcoming recession due to consumer debt climbing, the senseless wars that the US is starting, or the dollar not being backed by oil is a valid speculation. However, it's not enough that should paralyze you from investing either in the US or international markets. So no, this isn't 2007 or 2008 all over again. Don't let the headlines scare you out of your financial goals or your first step into investing. I hope this helps.